saw Zuna and Sheep having to hide from Minuwave for a while because, like, no name might be around. We have to respect the fact there might be a jungler here. I didn't see that kind of presence from Smithy, where people were backing off of waves or having to leave their lane because there might be a Kha'Zix in the wings.
All right, so let's see if they change anything up in the picks bans here. Already one Xiao ban, so probably see another Xiao ban? No, they're not actually going to change it up first.
Wow, and interestingly, so both teams have banned Jax on the red team here. So it's a kind of a shared ban here, but it's one that's getting respected there. The Morgana actually banned by LMQ. They care about that champion a lot in terms of Sheep in this one, but I want to see what happens with Orianna here. LMQ can first pick their mid laner if they know it's a contested pick there. That's an important champion in this one. XDG.
I also want to say about Orianna ult's last game, it really was the warding that helped out so much. There was a pink ward in that bush. Like Kha'Zix and Twitch were both invisible when they were walking forward. So they thought they were safe, but the pink ward that they had already placed in the bush on their own side jungle, because they knew they had just lost a team fight and they were going to be on the defensive, turned it around for LMQ.
And it worked exceptionally well for them. So honestly, LMQ definitely bringing in more to their games. I feel like they're doing better things. They're making the right choices there. And this time, Champion Select taking their time with this one. No really new mid lane bans by XDG. They removed the Soraka, but they're leaving Orianna available. Once again, Nocturne, the priority jungle pick for LMQ. And it's just the Elise ban removing the champions from Smithy.
And they didn't even focus on Pharaoh Flare last time. He had a very late conversion of that Wriggles Lantern into Pharaoh Flare because of they were making so many moves elsewhere on the map. He does not tunnel on farming. We'll have to see if it's a slower game, then you always have that to rely upon, though. If you are Nocturne, you can hard farm your jungle and still have a threatening presence because the other team never knows where you are, and they have to respect the fact that you can join a fight from half a screen away.
So now we'll see what they can do with this one then. LMQ obviously putting the respect into their opponents, realizing they've won game one. XDG, what are their new adaptations? They've got to pull it back here in the next 4.
So Kha'Zix is up again. I'm not going to go with that this time, though. Smithy going to a more comfortable jungler and an even more early game-oriented jungler here. His Lee Sin is one of the classic champions that he was known for when he was on the top of the North American jungle scene.
And the Thresh, I think, is really good for Sheep as well. He's one of those big Thresh mains. I feel like all the new supports that kind of joined the league mid-season are like Thresh mains. They're good at the other champions, but like that's their best. And so I think Sheep having more playmaking potential can help. I think if like Sheep Zuna can win the lane is a big deal. We know we talk about Vasily occasionally playing too aggressively, and he can get caught out by a hook and give some kills away. Some of the games that C9T won against LMQ were Vasily getting caught and kind of throwing away kills for a while.
Yeah, I feel like if you are a pro support, Thresh has to be at least one of your top supports, if not your main support to go to. He's just so strong. But we do have a Lulu pick as well. Talking about support picks, it could be the mid lane as well. So I like that early flex here from LMQ. They can keep ManCloud guessing. XDG will have the guaranteed counter pick though if they want it, so they can still wait and see what the entire lineup is. Or you can take a safe pick away.
Yeah. I think this is the right choice by XDG, though, to grab the Orianna, make sure Xiao doesn't get it. Yes, you can use Wild Growth in similar ways to Shockwave, but it's just not the same. There's way less damage, for one. And the Orianna 3 on ManCloud, I think, is a great choice.
They also are able to get Lucian away here, so I think it's a pretty good start for XDG this time around, looking at pick bans, especially since they are on red side.
Well, it's LMQ grabbing Twitch for themselves, though, and they might just switch the Lulu down into the bottom lane, hovering on Twisted Fate right now, giving LMQ even more playmaking, and it is going to be mid-TF here, so Support Lulu is the grab, and double globals plus Twitch stealth.
Now, I like Twitch plus Lulu because coming out of ambush with all that attack speed, he gets even more pick shots, and it adds a lot of extra damage there. Plus, they have the 2 globals that can support this bottom lane. So this time around, with LMQ running the Twitch, they've got so many weapons that they can use to feed that Twitch as early as possible. Literally every other champion on their team can join the party bot lane. They've got a teleport top, a jungle Nocturne, and a mid TF. Every single person on LMQ can do something to help Twitch get fed.
And what I really like about Twitch Lulu as well is that Help Pix is invisible when he's invisible. So you can Glitter Lance from nowhere. You can't dodge that spell. You get guaranteed ambushes.
Get
it's
another
fun.
extra slow, so
Yeah.
they can slow you forever if they catch anyone out of position.
Yeah. It gives you really interesting lane movements as well, because anytime Twitch turns invisible, you're like, he could be on top of us with ambush and picks. You gotta be worried about that one. Top lane Mundo gets brought up here for XDG, so a different look there for Benny. Gonna be the safe reserve top laner who'll join team fights a bit later on.
So that signals out that they probably will not be making that early action from Smithy focused to wherever Benny is. Mundo probably going to just be farming, trying to use his teleport to get to that mid game where he spikes up. Meanwhile, Smithy is really going to have to get one of these other lanes going. Thresh is always a great support to gank for, even in this heal meta where they're running usually double heals down bottom.
Yeah.
You can still make a lot of things happen with Lee Sin and Thresh. There's this ridiculous playmaking opportunity there.
Yeah, you can safeguard to a lantern, kill a bunch of things as well. There's absolutely, I agree. There's a lot of room for moves here. So as the teams take to the Rift, remember to head over to Twitter and let us know who you think's going to win. Tweet at LOL Esports, use the hashtag LMQwin or XDGwin to cheer on your favorite team in this one. And I want to see this comp play out for LMQ because I like the triple global in a way. The fact they can just show up anywhere, whether it's a Twitch's lane or just mid lane or wherever. I want to know how that plays out because we talk about whenever you're running globals on a team, like a Shen, a Teleport, a Twisted Fate. You say, yeah, gank the global. Well, which one?
Yeah,
because someone's gonna show up anyway.
Go to the source of the global. Oh God, they're everywhere.
Yeah, gank all the lanes at the same time.
What really I'm looking forward to seeing, though, is the mid game from LMQ, because we said they had great communication last game. If they're running with 3 globals in a mid game where all of these turrets go down very quickly, then there's opportunity for them to really snowball in the mid game and get ahead there.
And you got to wonder how well can XDG time the cooldowns, because they're all going to be very apparent. When Nocturne has his darkness, you just say, okay, guys, 3 minutes from now, it's back up. Let everyone know this one. And we'll see how the coordination stacks up. XDG on the red side. How well can they make this one happen? Ruby Crystal start for Benny. He's going full tank status, but that's no surprise.
Moore still opting to go Ignite here, not on the support train, everyone doing double heal. He likes that kill potential, and they are going to keep it down there. Ooh, this is a much closer level 1, though. Both teams grouping up to fight over the top side of the jungle.
All right, they're going to get spotted out by the ball. LMQ knows
they see the ball, though. They saw it disappear, so both teams are aware.
It's going to dump. Thresh is right behind them, though. And the gold card timed out, but looks like this is not going to be a push in for XDG.
They got their deep ward down. Need to back out now.
There's no way for XDG to sweep it. They just know the fact that a ward almost definitely went down. Okay, so a bit of information gained. Sheep's ward, unfortunately, not very useful for his team anymore. That was watching the blue buff invade. It didn't happen.
And you can see LMQ rushing down to the other side of the map. They saw XDG above them, so they're not scared about face checking around their own red right now.
Ooh, are they going to late invade the blue buff, though?
There's a preemptive ward from XDG, so if they do, it will still be seen.
Minions have spawned.
And it also looks like XDG once again are opting into the lane swap. So these guys wanting the 2v1 at every single game.
So a lot of that does have to do with trying to secure the early buff for their jungler and make sure that they have a good early start. Basically, this is the lowest risk that you can go with as a team. Defensively warding one side, invading the other.
Yeah, a couple of brief faces come out. Looks like XDG feels pretty safe with this one. And they just watched LMQ walk through their pre-ward near the blue buff. So here we go, the buddy system. Blue buff going to be grabbed up on both sides for this one. And we're likely to see both teams go for the wolves and the white.
All right, I like leaving the little lizard down there behind at the blue buff, because as I said before, it's so long before the jungler will check his other buff that you can delay your opponent's blue buff by another 5-7 minutes even if XDG are slow to go over and check that one. So keeping that away from Orianna, from ManCloud, that's a little investment that they're making towards later in the game. And they still, both of these teams actually this time around, going with the 1 buff, 2 small camps, everybody level 2, second wave shove. Shouldn't be as poor of a start as last time for XDG.
All right, here we go. LMQ, 4 men strong. The Nocturne Q comes out, Duskbringer. Giving him a bit more damage. It's going to be pretty safe for these guys. Wave Clear comes out as well. This smite's happening. It's going to be a 3-minute turret. Roughly at the same time, actually. LMQ, I think they're, 1 second slower than before. XDG, though, actually getting the turret down. They're only 7 seconds behind in this trade, 8 seconds behind. You're going to keep the move forward.
Yeah, much better than last time. We have to see, though, with no jungle support, the mid laners are left to their own devices. And ManCloud getting the early shove here on TF.
Yeah, and a pretty moderate to decent minion lead as well, dodging the cards away. And it's going to be a bit of a lane lead there, but Tier 2 Turo under fire. LMQ getting the better of this one already, down below a quarter. This will be falling rather quickly. The recall is actually started by XDG to defend the inhibitor. But this will be an equal turret trade. So this game's starting out much better for XDG than it did last time.
Yeah, and the recall not stopped this time for Smithy, so they get 2 people back and they will be able to defend it. LMQ just shoving that wave all the way into the turret to make sure that it does not get frozen too deep there. Right now they're making a move for Dragon. The early Dragons have cost all the teams that have gone for it. But this time around, it would only be 2 members of XDG that would collapse, the Lee Sin and Mundo. And they're not making the move early. Dragon aggro, they're trying to juggle it. They're not avoiding that much damage, though. They're still taking pretty much full damage from Dragon.
Okay, let's see if LMQ pays any cost for this, though. Instead of recalling, getting their items back, getting to lane in time, or getting any farm, they go for Dragon. So that's going to be 625 gold, I believe, is the base Dragon value. Something around that, 650. And so now I want to see what they can pay after this one. Xiao Xiao's already recalled, got back to lane.
So basically the biggest difference there is that Mundo was farming minions earlier than Shyvana was. So since the LMQ wave was pushing against them for this top lane, Shyvana, will be a level or so behind Mundo. But the rest of the team gains all that global gold from Dragon, plus the all-important timer for the right spawn of the second Dragon.
Yeah, very important for these guys, because that one around, what, 1040 in the game is going to be rather important for that one. It'll be worth a bit more gold, more experience, all that kind of fun stuff. Xiao Xiao actually getting very much zoned out of this lane. He's got such a little ward coverage, he's got to be afraid of Lee Sin. It looks like he's just playing as far back as humanly possible.
And they've actually even opted for solo farm here for Vasily on the Twitch, going with that large wave, and they switched Shyvana down to defend their turret in a 1 versus 2 situation.
And they actually had more running around, making sure that, the buffs had been cleared properly. I don't think he checked the Wolf Camp. That one's still actually partially cleared. But he went down to the blue buff and made sure it got the timer. And I was like, okay, yeah, it's going to be up at around 7 minutes.
And meanwhile, since Smithy is defending top, the blue for XDG will not respawn. It's still just got one little lizard there.
Oh, No Name walks by a ward. Looks like Ackerman is able to hold this wave fairly well, just with the threat of a jungle gank. He's going to get level 4 in this one, equal up to Zuna.
Sheep and Zuna are doing a great job of not giving away the fact that they have a ward, so they got an extra 5 seconds or so of No Name's time. But here comes the first TF ulti, no turret to run
Oh,
to.
he locks a red card, but is it going to be enough? Sheep taking a bunch of damage.
Oh, he
Philippe
misses!
the wall. He does, but it's not going to mean enough. Ackerman will claim the kill. No, it's going to be No Name. 600 gold goes to LMQ.
All right, so Xiao Xiao messing up a couple times there, costs their team 2 flashes by not pulling the yellow card and not hitting the wild cards. But they still get the kill. It is the first blood, and they don't lose much of that wave in mid.
That was all good and successful there. Yeah, the down turret. Dual lane waiting around. No way to get away from that one.
XDG need to time that TF ulti. The first one is extremely long cooldown, and you can track that very easily. As well, both of the flashes that just got burned. XDG, even though they just got hit pretty hard, can use that information to their advantage.
Slow comes out from Vasily. Benny puts the Burning Agony down, but takes some decent damage. Loses a quarter of health, but he's going to stay there in the 1v2. And unfortunately for XDG, their gank's much harder to find. Smithy just walked through a ward, and he's not going to get anything there.
And that was just one of the LMQ globals. They still have the teleport available, and Nocturne one more level to get for his ultimate gank. We'll have to see if they can continue to snowball here. Vasily still working towards probably his Blade of the Ruined King rush.
I've seen a couple builds, because in Europe I've seen a lot of Bloodthirster Twitches, which I really like for the Expunge burst. But you go Ruined King and you're much more self-sufficient. You slow them down, and you get the extra burst from the active. I personally like BT Twitch, but Ruined King a bit more common. Zuna Ackerman, bit of a trade. You can see the Shyvana now level 6, putting a lot of threat towards the AD carry. Zuna, this is half his health in that trade.
The wards are not very deep, though, for LMQ, so I expect Ackerman to either back off or start playing more cautiously. You don't go for those types of trades when you have 0 ward coverage, extending up that far.
Vasily Moore not going to get pushed around, though. A ward does come through for Smithy, but I don't know if the ward's going to mean too much, except for defensive rotations towards mid. Ackerman kills away a pink ward, makes sure his team retains control over the jungle here. Looks like LMQ going to hold the mid lane for now. They're going to leave Benny in the top side. Dragging a minute 40 away, so it's just LMQ showing up to hold waves for now.
The ward placed by Ackerman will see the rotation from Sheep over down bottom. And he does have his ulti fully charged up, so he could jump over the wall. Not too dangerous for him. They're just really letting Mundo shove the wave into top. And let's see, they'll probably be feeding that gold over to Vasily once it gets close enough.
We're going to see Xiao hold the mid lane for now, so bit of a lull as we wait for Dragon to come back up.
They're actually opting to feed more money into their Shyvana here. One of the interesting things about this patch and the way that so many 4 vs 0 pushes play out is you get to choose who gets more money on your team, and LMQ want a tank. So they're funneling more of that money into Ackerman, not too concerned about the early Blade of the Ruined King from Twitch.
And that is going to be his build, though. Adds the longsword. Also rushes the Zerk Greaves, interestingly enough. I'm surprised to see that, but it will give Vasily more movement. Maybe he can find some more ambushes that way.
Yeah, I'm interested to see who towards that mid game they are going to have shoving versus Mundo, because a full tank Shyvana doesn't have the advantage over Mundo like the Blade of the Ruined King Shyvana does.
Well, so attempted ambush. Vasily gets some good damage down, pushes Man Cloud halfway out of the lane, and Xiao and the rest of the team show up there. So just the half HP. There's a TP in the flank, though. The fight's going to start for XDG. Benny pops ulti. Hook won't land, though. Now the push in towards Moore. He's level 4. The Fear Tether comes out. It's going to force XDG away. 2-man Shockwave. But there comes Ackerman. The retreat comes through. Nice stun lands onto Smithy. Will the fight continue? Looks like XDG being forced away rather quickly. Zuna, level 6, trying to put damage through. Gets stunned again. 200 health out of the turret.
Nobody goes down, but everybody really low for XDG, so that fight will win them the mid turret.
Briefcase is not going to do enough damage. Dragon's seemingly immune for that one. And mid turret is hard fought and earned by LMQ.
Now, LMQ did a great job of kiting that back. It was XDG who got the first 5-man around mid, and they were trying to press the advantage, but a great Glitter Lance and a great Gold card, LMQ are able to kite back, and even though Mandatory Cloud does land a Shockwave onto Twitch, nobody's in position to follow it up.
So, nothing gained for XDG, but LMQ well in control. Dragon goes down as well by them, around 11 minutes. And this team is certainly in control. The fan vote, actually even more now in LMQ's favor. They've realized just how strong this team is. Hype is pretty real for these guys.
I mean, last time around when LMQ were running Orianna into the Twitch and they were landing these shockwaves, there was so much backup damage to follow up the shockwave. But this XDG team does not really have it. The Lee Sin and the Mundo are not great at diving in. Lee Sin has to get a clear shot to get his Q in onto Twitch, and he hasn't been able to do that. It's very hard for them to get extra damage back there without just Mandatory Cloud, Shockwave, and Dissonance. So Vasily, even though he does get hit, he didn't have to worry too much. He still has heal, and he had the rest of XDG on the run. So not really the same situation that Zuna was in when he had a Shyvana and a Nocturne diving right back into him when he had Shockwave.
Exactly. You press R and click on them, and you're going to be like, oh, they're on top of the AD carry. Mundo gets Glitter Lance, and he's just kind of sad for a while. So mid lane, a little bit under siege, but LMQ able to defend pretty properly. Smithy trying to make plays. Has a Blizzard Elder, but not getting enough. No Name sweeps the ward away. He's safe for the team. Ackerman in the wings right here, looking for maybe to make a move in. Get the defensive ward. Smithy spots blue. He's actually going to go for this one. He's got a little bit of backup.
They see Vasily down bottom. That's why they're forcing this, because they know, once again, we have numbers advantage. We want to press it when we have 5 vs 4. There's no way Vasily can get down here. And yet they get chased off their blue because they don't collapse all at the same time.
Gonna go for the battle anyway. Q comes out, smited, picked up by Smithy. Sheep cannot land hooks this game, though.
All right, so they took the blue, but there is a large wave shoving down bottom now that Vasily just cultivated over there, and he's joined the rest of the team now. So XDG are probably going to have to recall in the near future to deal with that bottom wave, which will give LMQ control of the map for the next 30 seconds, and they can get their ward coverage out there. They can start clearing away the pink wards and try and get some of this vision from XDG down.
Well, we're going to see if LMQ can keep that pressure going. Blue buff goes over to ManCloud. So a buff lead for XDG for sure, but is it enough to win some fights and actually earn their own territory back? Because LMQ are the team that typically turns the screws quite well and keeps the map under control. How long do XDG wait? Ruin King under 1,000 gold to go till Vasily has it. Bloodthirster still not picked up yet for Zuna. He's actually going to be taking minion waves back towards his inhibitor. So it looks like XDG happy to make sure farm goes to their AD carry. Whereas a bit more of an even split for LMQ.
Yeah, LMQ haven't been able to do much with this small opening that they had where they know that one person from XDG will be in the bottom lane farming. This game is so much of this sort of push and pull where each team gets to shove up when they have a minion wave. And once they crash into the turret, then it's the other team's turn for their rebuttal. And LMQ, they were not able to get much vision down or clear any out, actually. Nobody's still walking into that small bush and finding the pink.
So Ackerman set up the top lane, but no one's going to go for it. Benny just holds this one back, and the lane goes back to neutral here. Bottom lane pushed out as well. Zuna's going to recall. Should have, I'm guessing, BT and Zergs.
Yeah, probably. Get that early power spike. As well, the early power spike here from TF, the very popular build for North America, has been rushing Morel and Omicron. The early power spike as well as extra cooldown reduction for his ulti.
Yeah, it's a wonderful build. We haven't seen it since the first time, though. So right now, the Morel and Omicron not doing a lot for him, just adding some ability power. He is fighting 2 summoner heals and a Mundo, so it'll help for that at least.
Uh-oh.
Hook's gonna, oh no!
Miscommunication, I don't know. So that's not something that you actually talk about, but it's something that you have to play with the person for a longer time.
Yeah.
To sort of get on the same page there.
Smithy did not look pleased for that one.
Yeah, that was just... I mean, I guess you can sort of expect that Sheep will be going for those hooks if you play with his Thresh more often.
Yeah. One thing I've learned is you just like yell when you're going for an ability, like I'm hooking. He's like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Or you can do those split-second call-outs.
Yeah. Ooh, Shotgun hits on the Moore down to 1/3 health, but no
that's
follow-up.
a big cooldown that they won't have for a team fight now, though, and it was on the support only.
And no catch comes through in that one. ManCloud with Athenes, not a crazy cooldown, but yeah, it's down.
Oh, yeah, on the bright side, he also had blue buff, so blue buff plus Athenes, gonna help out there.
55 seconds to go.
Won't hurt him too bad. But yeah, it's the small things that they don't seem like they're quite on the same page for XDG. LMQ, though, we haven't seen any action from these double globals. We have very little action.
We had single global.
Towards the mid game here, where I thought they're going to be making more moves after they get all these turrets down. They haven't used them yet.
Yeah.
So now is their opportunity, though, because TF, he can get half a map up there. He's going to have to walk all the way back to mid. But a good shove with the wave onto top here for LMQ will award them one more turret.
Well, nicely done by those guys. 4 turrets to 2 right now. ManCloud not going to get much done in mid. Minions actually successfully dodged those cards better than most players would. Like one got hit right there. That was an excellent play.
Yeah, I don't know. Xiao Xiao has not been looking like he's mastered TF so far this game.
Yeah, he's a card adept. Here we go. Kills those ones out. They walk mindlessly forward. Q comes out, does land Smithy. Finds some damage, but no follow-up. Once again, it's individual plays from XDG. That's all they're finding here.
Here we go. The second dragon fight.
All right.
There's the ward fights that preempt the dragon fight.
Taking him down.
Everybody
dragon.
getting here. Now we will see the double globals. So whichever team starts to tank up the dragon, going to be at a disadvantage. LMQ, the combo that they're looking for is the Siobhan and Nocturne initiate, backed up by a Lulu ulti. Watch ManCloud here. See where he can position this ball.
XDG starts. Vasily does get spotted by the pink ward. Hook onto Ackerman. This fight might start it. He jumps in the back line. Great knockup, but the kick back. Sheep, they're going to get dived on. He goes down. Vasily finds one. Benny goes down as well. Double kill. One kill goes back, though, for XDG. Zuna over the wall. 2 for 1. The flash stun comes through. Ackerman the chase as well. Slowed down. And Zuna also falls. 3-1 LMQ.
So even though you catch the tank there, that's the combo with Lulu. They get a great Lulu knockup. LMQ are able to take the dragon after that fight. And again, we're going to see a swing here for LMQ. They were already gaining extra map pressure on XDG with the extra turrets, but now they also have cleared out the dragon. So there's that amazing Lulu knockoff. And then again, Smithy kicks out Ackerman, so they don't have the double dive. And when No Name goes in deep, he actually has to walk back through the box, so they do get one kill, but the double flash and then Cutlass active from Ackerman makes sure that they were to chase him down.
And there was actually no shockwave that entire fight. So no, Manclad never found like a place to lock the team down in, which I'm surprised at, because the backline actually did come through.
I don't know. The kickback of Shyvana might have thrown them off, but there was so much opportunity for him to set up one in that fight.
So LMQ just finding better picks so far. Level 12 Twisted Fate. Ulti 3/4 of the way back in. Used it to help get vision during that last battle. We're going to see Benny again scoring off against Ackerman, but a level lead here for the LMQ top laner.
Oh, they've got an early Mikhails as well here from Moore. So whoever even gets Thresh Hook, they can actually get him back out.
So
I also like it because they're looking to buff up their front line as much as possible. Lulu already providing the extra health and shields, but now he can give life back as well. As we saw, No Name is very squishy, and he hasn't hit that point of the Blade of the Ruined King plus barrel, which is the really scary point for Nocturne. So he's not that threatening, and you can see when he has to run back, when he turns tail and tries to run out of the team fight, he gets taken down very quickly. So they need all of the defensive items that they can to sort of back up his early game offensive orientation with Nocturne.
Yeah. I do like the overall build though for LMQ, because they know they've got this like high damage Nocturne in there, right? Both games. Ackerman just goes tank. The only damage item he really gets is he stops at Cutlass, which is actually less than half the price of a Ruin King.
Yeah, he just wants that slow.
Just the slow, exactly.
So when he can get on Lucian, he can stick him there. As we saw, he used it effectively after the last flash. Also, the Zanya is completed for Xiaowei Sao. So now he has the ability to bait in XDG as well. Maybe going with some Messiah plays in the near future.
Let's see. Smithy right now just forced to kind of control his own jungle. More sweeps with the pink ward that was put down in the last dragon fight, and you can see there are very, very few red wards down. Vasily looks like he will not be able to make a play in the mid lane just yet. Backs off, plays a bit more safely here. And we'll do the pink ward on Baron though. Now they got a uncontested Baron not long ago, right? In game 1, they set up the ward control and got it completely without anyone looking at them sideways. This might be their play once again. The Vasily looks for a move.
So they do have all of their globals available. And when XDG have been getting behind, they haven't really been making any plays, going for anything here. Vasily really dodging everything!
That was awesome.
All right, he's first pick in the dodgeball game.
Yeah.
That's for sure. I thought for sure he was going to get caught there. Very, very close. All right, so Vasily, quick on the trigger. If you're playing Twitch, you have to be able to do stuff like that because he has no other option of getting out of this one. And LMQ avoid disaster right there. Yeah. That would have been huge for XDG. Those are the picks that they want. Yeah. They had the numbers advantage as well as being able to get the initiate onto an 80 carry. That would have been perfect for XDG.
Here comes the pick, though. Smithy might get locked up. The Lantern not going to find anybody. Oh, the lockup from Lulu. Smithy has nowhere to go. Finally gets out. Shockwave claims no damage, but there comes Shyvana. 1-for-1 so far. Mancloud, the box ball slows down Shyvana. Benny in the front lines taking a whole bunch of pain, and he goes down. The Flay comes back in, but Vasily is ready to deal a whole bunch of damage. Sheep forced away, and he's going to be safe.
So after LMQ avoid disaster with Vasily dodging, then XDG just go back to farming their own jungle, and they're able to get that pick with a TF ulti plus Nocturne. That's the double globals, and the double globals will award them a global objective.
There we go. Tier 2 mid turret falls as well, and all the minions die right after. No counter pressure available for XDG.
All right, so let's watch the initiate here from TF. Because he has the Zanyas, he has the confidence to TP in right next to 2 melees. And No Name's able to complement his initiation, but he is going to pay for that one with his life, and Ackerman has to come in from the side to finish their kill. Benny tries to do the same thing, taking up the rest of LMQ, but not able to withstand the damage of that Twitch. With the attack speed and Blade of the Ruin King, he's able to melt through the health tank.
Yeah, one thing that happened there as well is that like Benny actually lost health by using his ultimate. He was actually below 40% by the time he even used it, so he's already under Morellonomicon and just like didn't gain anything back before he died.
Yeah. Early Morellonomicon is already popular on TF now, and it just kind of works even better being able to apply that over and over because he also has the on-hit magic damage, so even just auto attacks.
Yeah.
We'll be applying that to Mundo.
And look at Benny's build, because he's not even going for like the high damage Sunfire. He's like, Randuin's Visage, I need to not die is my #1 priority. And I know you talked about XDG not having follow-up damage, but this is even more in this line where Benny is an even less of a damage threat. And even with this tanky build, it's still been going down. XDG do find themselves mid-outer, but Ackerman will get top tier 2 to half.
Right, LMQ are pushing 2 lanes while XDG only pushing 1 lane, and they're going to lose an inhibitor turret for this mid lane push.
Wow, look at this. No Name going to be joined up with the rest of the team. Yeah, it's going to be the quick teleport for Ackerman. Inhib turret goes down. XDG kind of waiting around. Zuna's going to get this one, but there's no one to defend this.
And they're not even looking to stop anytime soon here. That will be inhibitor. Definitely not worth for XDG there.
There's all 5.
Oh,
Vasily.
they can't finish it though. Vasily gets out of his invisibility. See if they can get back in time to stop Zuna now. The rest of XDG, goal right now, stop all the recalls. They're buying Zuna as much time as they can. It's a dangerous game, but they're playing it pretty well so far.
TF ult, is he going to go for a mid? He's going to go for the team fight. They're going to go for the 5v4 in the base. Can they find much? The disengaged Mancloud tries to stay alive. Down goes Benny. 1 for 0, 2 for 0. Can they make it 3? Well, at least they get the inhibitor already.
Yeah, that's why I was calling it a dangerous game. TF can turn it around instantly. Also, No Name able to fall back up, and they can just take your Nexus turrets, even though Zuna's getting the inhibitor.
2 versus 5. The Shockwave lands on a 2, but is it going to be enough? Mancloud finds the kill onto No Name. Ackerman kicked back, but turret #1 is gone. Zuna is going to recall, and LMQ actually, they get the 1 turret for it.
So taking just 1 Nexus turret, not that big of a deal. It's actually a pretty good trade to go for that inhibitor and exchange just 1 Nexus turret there for XDG. So they commit to it, and because of a great shockwave from Mancloud, they're able to defend.
XDG went -1 kill and went +2 turrets on that entire trade. Actually,
Also,
XDG
-1
won that trade.
Dragon.
True. All right.
Continue
Four
the
equal here.
formula.
Yeah.
+1 Baron? Question mark? Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
XDG going for the
Maybe.
early Baron. They hook over. Can they get the Lantern? Smithy does not have a Feral Flare, though, so this isn't a super fast Baron. However, they should be able to get it because of LMQ's commitment to the Dragon. XDG trying to make the comeback move here.
LMQ are making their way over.
No Name's coming.
They got the wards down, but looks like XDG full can with this one. Baron goes down. They're going to be safe, but they're down 9K.
So this time around, XDG are the ones who trade, and they get the Baron for Dragon. LMQ actually got the benefit of that last time. Good move there from XDG. We said they needed to take more chances, and that was definitely one that paid off well for them.
That was very big. They've got to hold on to this, though. Both teams missing an inhibitor, so minions are going to do really crazy things to the map. And the question now is, which team can react better to the map situation? Minions flood in on either side. Baron buff is on all of XDG, though. And it doesn't really make up for the gold deficit. It's close. But the stats on Baron still actually put XDG arguably weaker in a fight.
The thing is, LMQ don't have a great sieging team right here. They have Twitch, who, sitting in one spot, it would be very dangerous for him. LMQ are all about catching people outside, out on the map, in Summoner's Rift, far away from their base. But there's nothing to draw XDG away from their base. The Dragon was just taken, the Baron was just taken. So XDG can just turtle right now, and they can farm up. They can get to a little bit closer to that late game and try and make the discrepancy of cash a little less impactful.
Looks like no catch there for XDG. It's interesting to see the kind of situations that LMQ can put themselves in compared to the ones that XDG can, because of the fact that like Twitch is like way pushed up with no one around, but they've got TF. It's safe for LMQ to do this.
So they've got Zuna down bottom. This is actually a 4 versus 5, and LMQ can force around an outer turret. 4 vs 5, they're fine sieging up. TF going to shove middle and come in with his ulti if they get a pick.
Smithy wants it though, kicks in, Vasily gets knocked up by Lulu though, here comes the fight, Moore is low, ManCloud goes down right away without getting his shockwave down. Here comes Zuna trying to turn it back around, but it's a 2 for 0, 3 for 0 so far, the dive still comes in, No Name forces the flash out of Zuna. It's a great team fight, LMQ.
Kick in Vasily and there's no damage follow-up. There's a red card anyway. All right, he wants to get rid of the red.
Ooh.
Smithy with the okey doke, but their base is being destroyed right now. So, and Xiao Xiao's not giving up on the chase either. He's still hunting them.
Well, it's still a 4 versus 1 though. It's going to work quite well. LMQ going to find an inhibitor number 2 on this one. And
Xiao Xiao's still on the hunt.
He
got him.
Smithy. Oh! Bottom hit has respawned, which means the mid inhibitor for LMQ also about to do the same. LMQ walk away from this one with...
Oh, the pink ward is actually going to take the hits for Smithy.
Good guy, pink ward.
Whew.
Good guy, pink ward. Smithy makes his way out. But LMQ now up 12,000 gold. Very much an advantageous trade for those guys.
Yeah, I mean, they go for the initiation. He got a great kick onto Vasily inside, but there was 0 damage to follow it up, even at the turret. As we said, Zuna was down bottom, and he didn't get to join the fight until someone had already died from XDG. So LMQ, just by being in position and being able to have so many globals where TF can just instantly join the fight, huge advantage, and they get the collapse onto the turret, which awards them another inhibitor. And another one is exposed, so they can easily just force it there.
And so we'll see when LMQ goes for that kind of death push. These guys are head by a lot. 30 minutes in. The first game, they got about 33. Actually, I'm wrong on that one. It was like 27 or something like that. The LMQ getting ready. Mid inhibitor's dead. Bottom inhibitor's open. Ackerman's setting up the bottom lane for this one. Plenty tanky. Randuin's Banshees and just the Cutlass to make sure.
So they're not even 5-on-5 forcing a fight at this inhibitor. They're still playing to this global team here, spreading out and making sure that XDG have to commit to one side, in which case they can all just jump on that side.
Well, attempted wave clear from Zuna, but it's not going to be enough. Tier 2 turret top lane goes down. There's only 2 turrets left on the map for XDG. Top inhibitor and 1 Nexus turret. ManCloud right now on defense. Zuna backing him up. Benny soloing the bottom lane, but LMQ, they are ready to siege this one. No Name and Moore, and Vasily take the top lane. Xiao holds mid, and Ackerman to the bottom.
All right, so this will probably be the last desperate fight here from XDG. They need to get a good shockwave, and they have to have someone in position to follow up. We've seen either shockwaves hitting Twitch or Smithy getting a Q on Twitch. We haven't seen both of them at the same time, and that's really the formula for XDG success.
See if they can find it. Dragon 35, Benny loses a lot of health. Actually, Xiao taking a decent bit of damage. Ackerman too. Looks like the split post siege not really doing much. Maybe it's the bottom of the ManCloud takes gigantic damage. There's the jump in from Nocturne, and down goes ManCloud.
Well,
TF Volt comes in. Moore is low. Vasily pushed away. This could be bad. Briefcase flashed away. Bottom inhibitor goes down, and here comes the rest of the chase. 4 versus 5. The dive in from Ackerman. Zuna under fire, takes a lantern to get out. Now Smithy under a bit of pressure, and Zuna does go down. Now 5v3. Bennett getting chased. He's going to fall as well. Only 2 members alive for XDG, and this should be LMQ closing out the second game. 32 minutes in. Smithy just, dancing back and forth, but that is going to be the game. 1 game to go, and LMQ is in the LCS.
Another dominating performance as well. Now the smiles are happening. They're getting really close. After the first game, they're a little trepid, but now we saw some emotion.
Yes, smiles coming out for these guys. And they know, and of course you look over at XDG and you realize this is not where they wanted to be. You gotta find something to make it work. Honestly, the playmaking, it's not synced up. Single man shockwaves, missed hooks, kicks backwards.